This morning, major developments in the search for 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham reported missing last week north of Houston.
There's not words for it.
Authorities have arrested 42-year-old Don Stephen McDougal on a separate assault charge of Houston.
There's not words for it.
Authorities have arrested 42-year-old Don Stephen McDougal on a separate assault charge, saying he's a person of interest in the search for Audrey. They say he's the roommate of Audrey's father and has an extensive criminal history, including a conviction for enticing a minor in 2008.
We are hopeful that we can bring Audrey home alive, and that's what we are absolutely working for right now. But based on the evidence that we've got, we understand that foul play is a factor as well.
Audrey's mother says her daughter was last seen around 7 a.m. last Thursday when she was supposed to catch her school bus, not far from the home she shares with her father.
She was allegedly dropped off at her bus stop. And later on, we come to learn that she never even made it on the bus.
Police are now searching for this 2003 blue Chevy Suburban, saying it belongs to McDougal. Investigators also found Audrey's backpack near a local dam and say other items were found, but they're not elaborating.
You're broken. You're mad. You're lost. You're empty. And right now, I'm empty.
Despite his prior conviction for enticing a minor, our Houston station KTRK says Don Stephen McDougal was not required to register as a sex offender. was not required to register as a sex offender. A $7,000 reward is offered for information on Audrey's whereabouts. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
HOU has obtained records that lay out the timeline of Audrey Cunningham's disappearance and the evidence used to link the suspect, Don Stephen McDougal, to her murder. Maria Aguilera has been reading through those documents and continues our team coverage tonight. Maria?
Len, those records also show how much the community wanted to help find Audrey with the many tips they gave law enforcement after she disappeared. And of course, the evidence investigators have that led to McDougal being charged with capital murder. Pages and pages of calls to the Polk County Sheriff's Office detail the moments from when Audrey Cunningham was reported missing to the different tips coming from the community during the search efforts. On Thursday, February 15, around 6 p.m., Audrey's family called 911 to report that she never made it home from school. Officials were told Don Stephen McDougal dropped her off at the bus stop around 7 a.m. Family later learned from school officials Audrey never made it to school that day. Officials talked to her bus driver, who said Audrey wasn't at the bus stop that morning. Then, around 8 p.m., after checking with family and friends of Audrey, an Amber Alert was sent out. Around 10 p.m., Livingston police sent out a search dog, and the fire department used a drone in the search. But after 6 days of searching for the 11-year-old girl and numerous tips from people, on Tuesday, February 20, around 1 p.m., Audrey's body was found in the Trinity River. Now, new court documents on the capital murder charge of Don Stephen McDougal detail the evidence investigators say they have against him to link him to Audrey's death. According to those records, cell phone data and video connected McDougal to 3 areas of interest. One of those locations is the Trinity River near US 59, where Audrey's body was found. Investigators say there was a large rock tied to her body with a rope, and that was consistent with rope that was seen in McDougal's vehicle during a prior traffic stop before Audrey vanished. The documents also reveal Audrey died the same day she was
reported missing.
Audrey's cause of death is unknown at this time. We are waiting for the results from the Harris County Medical.
Well, court documents reveal new details about the man accused of killing Audrey Cunningham.
Stephen McDougal is charged with capital murder in the death of Audrey Cunningham. Her body was recovered in the Trinity River after a 5-day search.
Detectives say McDougal lived in a trailer behind the girl's home. He was supposed to take her to the school bus stop Thursday morning. KPRC2's Corley Peel is live outside the Polk County Judicial Center, where McDougal is being held without bond. And Corley, you're going to tell us what the documents reveal and why loved ones say this tragedy should have never happened.
Yeah, according to that warrant, Audrey Cunningham's body was found tied to a rock in the Trinity River, and investigators say that rope that was used was also found in McDougal's SUV. Investigators say he's also accused of lying about where he was the day that Audrey disappeared. And I spoke with loved ones who feel he should have never had the opportunity to be around the 11-year-old girl. Stephen McDougal is no stranger to jail. His latest capital murder charge, just another addition to his long list of his latest. This capital murder charge, just another addition to his long list of crimes.
I feel like this could have been prevented.
Rebecca Attaway is best friends with Audrey Cunningham's mother. She was shocked to learn about her accused killer's conviction. In Brazoria County in 2007. In that case, documents revealed he attempted to engage in sexual contact with a girl under the age of 17. He was accused of removing the girl's undergarments.
The documents clearly state that he was basically doing things to an underage child that is against the law. However, he didn't complete the actual sexual act. Therefore, the original charge was attempted indecency with a child. Then it was indecency with a child, then it was pled out to enticing a child. And that is actually a Class A misdemeanor. However, it can be enhanced to a felony if there's attempt to arouse sexual gratification, which is what happened in this case.
According to Texas law,
to a felony if there is attempt to arouse sexual gratification, which is what happened in this case.
According to Texas law, enticing of a child means someone who interferes with custody of a child. Based on the nature of the crime, many have this question.
How come he isn't registered? Why isn't he on the sex offender registry?
Andy Kahn with Crime Stopper says he plans to meet with state senators and representatives, specifically in Polk County, to change that law.
We're going to add this on the list of offenses that will register as a sex offender in the state of Texas. Mark my words, it will get brought up, it will get passed, and if so be it, I will name the new law after the 11-year-old girl.
I think that if any crimes against children, there should be a registry for that.
And Audrey's loved ones tell me that she had a smile that could light up a room, and she will be dearly missed, and they want to honor her in the best way. Now, at this time, it's unclear how the 11-year-old girl died. Her cause of death has not been determined. That will be up to the medical examiner once that autopsy is finished. And we, of course, will keep you updated about this case as soon as we learn more information. Reporting live from Polk County, Coralie Peel, KPRC 2 News.
Also tonight, we're taking a deeper look at the suspect's past.
A woman who was targeted by McDougal as a child is bravely coming forward to share her story tonight. She is one of several people who police say experienced violence from McDougal.
ABC 13 anchor Elisa Rivas is live to walk us through the timeline here, Elisa.
Charlie, Eric, there are so many layers to this story, starting with the case prosecutors are building now. And it's hard to fathom. Don Stephen McDougal was a family friend, a person even trusted to live in a camper behind the home Audrey shared with her father's side of the family. Despite his disturbing history, court documents don't get into what Audrey had to endure in her final moments, but they include this haunting detail. Her body was found in the water, weighted down with a rock. The rope he allegedly used was also said to be found in his SUV. McDougal's criminal history goes back more. McDougal's criminal history goes back more than 2 decades. Just last summer, police say he stabbed a man he did not know who was helping him jump a car battery. And tonight we are hearing also from one of McDougal's old coworkers who says McDougal attacked him when he threw him out of his home 14 years ago.
I opened the door up and told him he needed to leave, and he come at me with the knife, and I had my shotgun, and I hit him in the face with it and shut the door on him. I had no idea he was that kind of person.
McDougal was reportedly sentenced to 4 years in prison for that incident. Long before the violent attacks against adults, McDougal also pleaded guilty to enticing a child in Brazoria County back in 2007. The young victim told police he crawled into bed with her and tried to remove her pants. He did not have to register as a sex offender. As part of the plea. The victim is in her 20s now, and Audrey's murder is hitting her hard. ABC 13's Luke Jones is the only reporter to talk with her about this and is live now with her story. Luke.
And you know, Elisa, she says what happened to Audrey could have easily happened to her. I mean, total shock when she saw Don McDougal's face pop up in online posts. And tonight she says she wants to be Audrey's voice and a voice for other children in similar situations.
I'll never forget his face after that.
Carissa Davis would like nothing more than to forget Don McDougal's face.
I know he's a nasty man.
And what he did to her. One night in 2007. When she was 10 years old. She was at her uncle's Brazoria County house for a family gathering. McDougal's sisters were family friends.
And he came into the room that me and my cousin were sleeping in.
Davis says McDougal yanked her cousin from their bed, then got into bed with her.
Tried to take down my pants, and I immediately jumped up at that moment. I remember looking at him and saying, "Do you know how old I am?"
Davis raced for the door with McDougal in tow.
He grabbed me, and when he did, I just swung my arm and I hit him.
But now that he's been charged with Audrey Cunningham's murder, she can't help but wonder what would have happened had she not been able to fight back.
And everybody was still asleep. I mean, my uncle's backyard was woods. I mean, it could have been me.
McDougal pleaded guilty to enticing a child and was sentenced to 2 years in prison, but got credit for almost 1.5 years served.